Silver Collective, you have something new entering your life soon. I have Archangel Chamuel here, and he is the angel associated with love and abundance and fertility, beautiful prosperity, that sort of stuff. He's very pink energy to him. I hear love letter from the universe to you. So maybe there's a project you've been bringing to fruition, and the universe is going to bless you greatly for this. They're going to help you bring this to birth. I hear maybe for some of you that's literal, but a lot of you, I feel like it's a project. Maybe it's a book you've been reading or writing. Um, Maybe it's something you've planted. Maybe it's something you're doing in your free time, like busy work, I'm hearing. But yeah, something you're doing is gaining momentum and gathering energy. And there's just this excitement in this collective for this project you're working on. So, whatever this love letter is, it is a sign of thank you from the universe for a job well done on your part. You've been doing so many good things and you've been doing such good work. The universe is like, it's time to cash in on that a bit for yourself. So, I'm excited to be able to deliver that message to you. Um, I wasn't going to do a reading today because I already was doing some paid services this evening on top of my day job. So it has just been a busy day. Also, I did laundry. Yeah, so it wasn't till maybe 9 o'clock at night that I was wrapping those up. Um, and then I was, showering to kind of cleanse myself from the day. And while I was in the shower, I still was hearing Silver Collective, Silver Collective. So there's definitely some of you that need some good news tonight, is what I'm hearing. And for some of you, it'll be like first thing in the morning, probably, that you'll see this. But yeah, whenever this is finding you is when it's finding you. It's when it's meant for you. Um, there is an excitement and an eagerness in this collective for something. I feel there's some happiness coming in for you that you haven't seen in a long time. You haven't felt in a long time. You're going to start feeling more secure in your path. You're going to start being more free flowing with your ideas. You're going to stop beating yourself up and criticizing yourself so much and realize you were only ever echoing past renditions of yourself, I'm hearing. And that word rendition is a word I do not say very often. So it's almost like you've been rending these past visions of yourself that were made by other people, like limb from limb. You're like, nope, that's not me. That's not me. That's your construct of me, but that's not me. So you're really embracing this mirror energy collective, and you are leaning into that and turning it on its side and being like, what now? Biatch. There's a little bit of sassiness here. But yeah, because you are only ever mirroring the world around you. And so, yeah, collective, sometimes you were toxic, and that's because people were toxic to you. And I'm not justifying it or defending it. I'm just saying you were matching energy. Because that's what a lot of you do, is you match energy, you match vibes. I see you now in a place in your life where you don't need to match it so much, because people are not being as nasty to you, and you're being able to leave a lot of that behind, which is great. You're being able to focus on your own happiness, which is even more great, because you actually have happiness to be grateful about. Um, yeah, you've got some abundance coming in, love coming in, happiness coming in. Like it's a really positive influx of energies coming your way. And I saw 321 on my timer, and that usually means like something's going to be coming in quick for you. Um, Within the next week to 3 weeks, I'm hearing for most of you, from the time that you hear this reading, from the time you listen to this, time it comes in. When it does come in, please drop it below in the comments. I would love to hear what you've got coming in, because there's just a lot of excitement, and I'm seeing dollar signs. So some of you have some money coming your way. I wonder if you know about it already, but you have some money coming your way. This money is going to allow you to do a lot of things. You're going to be able to travel. You're going to be able to freely spend on the things you care about, I'm hearing. It's going to bring you a lot of joy. It's going to open up your eyes to a new way of living. You're going to be looking at all the things you can do now that you have this money, all this potential. For you, collective, that's also been clearing out a lot of stuff in your life. Like, you have space to bring in new things now. It's almost like you got rid of a dining table, and now you can bring in a new dining table that's a more better fit for that space. That kind of energy of like, maybe you had some stuff that was functional, but it just did not bring you joy. So every time you're looking around, you're seeing the stuff that doesn't bring you joy. So it's like, collective, where were you feeling joy before? A lot of your stuff wasn't bringing you joy. It was just bringing you obligation, or a feeling of guilt, a feeling of like poverty mindset or consciousness, like, oh, I can't get rid of this. I've got to be cheap about it. I can't just spend money because I want to. I can't just get something because I want to. Like, it's not eco-friendly, or it's not good for the earth, it's not good for the environment. That's coming through a lot. Like, collective, just because something is no longer useful to you doesn't mean it's no longer useful to others. So and I'm also being urged to tell you, like, I a couple of times now, I recently went to a landfill that has a, they call it a blue barn, but it's a thrift store attached to that landfill. I don't know how many other states and places do that, but basically when people bring stuff to the landfill to throw away that's still like perfectly good, they can, this barn will take it because it's right near the landfill, and they're like, oh, we'll just sell it here really cheap. So you can get like like a brand new ironing board for $5. You can get like a desk for $10. It's that sort of a place. It's really great. Um, so collective, I'm hearing your missed opportunity is another's golden opportunity, kind of thing, of like, maybe there's some things you bought thinking you could use them, but now you can't. But like, you're being urged to look at everything that you're donating and getting rid of now as clearing out space for you, yes, and being someone else's blessings. Like, when you let go of things in your life with the intention of it being a blessing to someone else or blessing something else in the universe, and like you let go of it with gratitude and acknowledging the space it's now giving you. So like, even in its absence, you're thanking it because it's creating opportunity to you. I'm getting, some of you, the things you're getting rid of are more valuable now that they're gone than they were when you had them, because it's like, great, that was taking up so much space and such a downer, and now that it's out of here, like, I really appreciate the space left behind. um so yeah, and the universe is like congratulating you on a job well done here, and being like, yeah, great job guys, you are clearing that stuff out, I'm so proud of you. Maybe you're just starting this process now, but I feel like mental clutter and digital clutter are also areas of clutter that need cleaning and maintenance, right? And so maybe you've been doing some of that too. Maybe you've been training your mind, your subconscious. Maybe you've been listening to subliminals or affirmations, like really clearing up your mind space so that you don't have 1,000 thoughts running at once. Like, you're grounding in and focusing more on a few thoughts at a time. Again, take all this how it resonates. This is it's a decent sized collective I'm reading for. So, um, yeah, let me see what else here. Yeah, some of you, I'm getting a little bit of Luciferian energy. So some of you may work with Lucifer, or you may just be open to the idea of infernals in general. You may be open to the misconception of things. In other words, you understand how media portrayal of an idea or concept or person is not always an accurate portrayal. Like, Lucifer's other name is Lightbringer. And that, I mean, it's a whole long story for him, but a lot of the reason that he has the reputation he does is literally because he challenged a person in a position of authority and said, hey, we're withholding information from this developing race, I think that we shouldn't do it this way. That's actually, a big part of the reason why he got cast out, because that the deity in the Bible was like, hey, you can't be doing this. I said I want it this way, and that's how we're going to do it. So yeah, no. Obviously, big long story, and I'm not doing it justice here. But basically, maybe you're a bit of a rebel at heart, or you've challenged figures of authority and then been like shot down for that. That's kind of his archetype. His archetype's very wisdom seeking. It's gentle. It's illumination. It's empowering the downtrodden, like the disabled, the queer, the elderly, like people who are looked over, people whose voices weren't considered. Like, he is the voice of why. But why do we do it this way? Why, if it's disadvantaging people, why are we doing it like that? So it's the spirit of rebellion, but in a positive way, if that makes sense. So especially at this time, maybe this collective is a group that is also like quite at unlike unrest because of the world events going on. So there's this feeling of needing to re-examine the things we thought were quote unquote good. I don't want to get too political here, but some people have conceptions of things that are quote unquote good or right or righteous. And then I think a lot of people are seeing how, when those are played out, they become very dangerous and targeting, people in a very scary and unhealthy way. And they realize, oh, wait, maybe this isn't what I thought it was. There's a lot of that energy too. I feel like you're a collective that's really clued into like politics, demographics, and geographics, and all those sort of things. You might do well unplugging from that every now and again from time to time, because it could be overwhelming for you. I think you could get overstimulated by the informational technological downloads that come in, because you're also a tapped in collective, right? You're pretty spiritually advanced, so you can see, like, I hear you see both sides of the war. Like, you see both sides of an equation. You understand how things go from one way to another and how sometimes things are equivalent. Like something can be equally evil and equally good just depending on where your alignment is, like where your priorities are. Um, excuse me. I'm getting a really big confirmation burp on that one. Shifting some energy in you collective. Yeah, it's this feeling of like if there's a nation by a river and they're benefiting from the water in that river, but then another nation that needs water that's in a different location, they like divert that river or they go and they like take all the water from that river and now their civilization is doing well, but the people who had the river are like, where is our river? So in the eyes of this other nation, they're like, oh yeah, like look at us now, we've been saved, our leader is a hero, look at what he's getting us. And then meanwhile in the other place they're like, we've been stolen from. Like there's that sort of symbology coming through, so take that how it resonates. But yeah, very interesting energy here collective. Let me see if there's anything else for this message tonight here. I'm hearing the word blasphemy. So there may be some of you that have conceptions about God or conceptions about what blasphemy is or what it is to be honorable and faithful. In the spiritual community, there's a lot of different ways you could interpret that term. Obviously, in Christian context, it's like saying that God doesn't exist. I guess maybe it would be a gross oversimplification of what that is. Um, but maybe blasphemy here is like there's something unholy in the context of life that like you almost feel that some people blaspheme others' existences by the way they operate, and so you are like deeply offended when people treat others poorly. You feel like that's equivalent to blasphemy because like people are so sacred that to disrespect humanity is blasphemy in itself. To take away the agency and duality of others, like that's evil in itself. Um, Quite philosophical tonight, collective, quite philosophical. But I do enjoy philosophy since I'm an Aquarius moon. So I process emotions through intellectual capabilities and thinking and speech. It's not always a win. Sometimes that is dangerous too. But basically, I love the intellectualness of this. See if there's anything else. Okay, that's all I'm getting for you tonight, collective. So I hope this message finds you well, finds you happy, finds you abundant, joyful, cheerful, and not thinking too much about the crime or the craziness going on in the world right now. So, with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.